Shalom, family. Okay, I did a video earlier today and it was an hour long. Look, sometimes the videos might be longer than normal, but yeah. So this video, I tell you guys, I get inspiration from downloads that I get from Most High. Sometimes I get them from things I'm watching. And today was something that just it just made me understand more and more why I homeschool my grandson and why I have curriculums that you can homeschool your children. So this man's name, saw this on YouTube today. Melvin Miles. He's a parent. So apparently, this teacher claims that they mistakenly gave two students candy with THC in it. It was a mistake. It was an accident. Now, I don't know how you accidentally do that, but that's what the teacher said. And one of the students was Melvin Miles's son. So of course, of course, the teacher is on administrative leave, meaning they still getting paid, right? The school is in Buffalo. It's a public school. Did I write it down? Didn't. I forgot to write it down. I forgot. I think it's William J. something, but it's in Buffalo. So yeah. So I, listen to the story and the family, they have a GoFundMe. I'm not sure what the GoFundMe's for, but how the parents found out that this happened was their child went to the hospital. Their child was in bad shape, you know. It was 500 milligrams. I didn't know they came that way. Um, but yeah, at school, this happened. Accidentally gave two students, not one, but two, THC gummies. I don't even know how you do that. Like, I don't even know. But, the school is on the teacher side. Like, they're trying to defend the teacher. They're on the side of the teacher. That's why the teacher's on administrative leave. Because they know it happened. The teacher said it was a mistake. It was a mistake. I accidentally gave it to him. But anyway, as you all know, if you look at any of my videos, I've been a teacher for over 30 years, and it's one of the one job that I know that I'll do for free because I love it, love it, love it. But working in the schools, I was having issues with all of the things that were happening. Before I even became a teacher, I was a parent teacher in my daughter's school. And when they would have meetings or discussions about anything, because I was always like a fixture at my daughter's school, they would have meetings and discuss things when I was there. And I really wasn't supposed to be a part of the meetings, but they was like, oh, that's just Miss Carla. She's always here. So they felt comfortable enough to talk around me, and I learned so much. When I worked in the civil courts, I worked in St. Louis civil courts for almost 8 years. I learned so much about the school system and how it's connected, and how they get their money and all of the things. And one thing I learned was, they want our children to come to their schools, because once your children is in the building, on the school grounds, on school property, they don't have to tell you anything. Like, that your children are now property of of the school system of the state. They don't tell you anything. I mean, if you notice, that's what they're doing now. They're giving children medication. If they tell you, I feel like they feel like they're the opposite sex of what they actually are, they can give your children medication to help their hormones do whatever. So the parent, Mr. Miles, was like, my child was given these gummies and in the hospital, and like nobody like really was telling me anything, and it's like they don't really have to. Like, yeah, most parents don't know that. Me being on the school, not the school board, they was trying to get me, but I wasn't letting it. Being head of the PTO, I started talking to parents. I started understanding why certain schools in certain areas got things that our schools in our areas didn't get because the parents ran it. Whatever in them on them other areas, if them parents said we don't want this, they don't do it. And it has nothing to do with color. Nothing at all. It's just the fact that, and I'm not even gonna say it's the fact that the parents out there care more. It's just that the fact that the parents out there, they know how it works. The school system is in play because of what we say. If we want this for our children, and that's what we're gonna have, and if you don't, then we're gonna make a fuss. And when I was the head of the PTO, I it annoyed me having to bribe parents to come to our meetings. Um, and I was one of those. I'm at the school anyway. So when school is out, I'm running up to you. Hey, we got a PTO meeting tonight. If you don't care about your children, they don't care about your children either. Most parents, and I mean, I would get them in the building. I would get them in there because I kind of made them feel a certain way. I shouldn't have to bribe you to care about what's going on with your child. This is your child. I care about your child. Do you? Like, what do you want? And I mean, it was shocking. I'm not even gonna lie. I was surprised how many parents I was able to get them to come to meetings. I had to bribe them with food. Get you a pizza. We're gonna have some pizza. We're gonna have. I'd have prizes. The first 10 parents come in, you get a prize. All of these things to get them in there just so that I could talk to them and get them to understand what is happening in the schools and why it's so important that we as a community work together. You know, it was rough. It was rough because, most of the times our families are one parent homes. And so somebody has to make sure the bills are covered. So somebody's got to they got to work. Sometimes they couldn't make it to the PTO meetings because they have no work or they are so tired. Um, so like I said, I was that one. I'm talking to you. I'm coming to get you. I'm on your back. I used to see them run from me. Baby, I can run faster than you. Here I come, and I'm coming at you because you know why I'm coming. You know, and so like I said, I learned a lot. That is why it is so important that they want our children in the schools because once they get your babies in there, they can teach them whatever they want. They can tell them whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. And if you pay attention, that's exactly what they're doing. They're teaching them exactly what they want to teach them, even if it's not true. They don't care. They teach it to them. And what are you going to do about it? They belong to the school once them children are on their grounds. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Look it up. Okay. So when I saw this story about how this teacher mistakenly gave these children gummies with THC in it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then the school board or the school system, the school itself, I'm not going to say the system, but the school itself was, on on the teacher side. Um, yeah, that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. We need to stop pay attention and see what's really happening out here in this world. We are so okay with, okay, and again, I get it. Bills got to be paid. You got to do what you got to do. But if we were doing it the way the Most High want us to do it, none of that would be an issue. None of that would be an issue because He would make sure that everything we need, we would have. If we trusted His word, had an intimate relationship with Him, pray, and, you know, stay on the path that He make for us, He gonna make sure that your children are educated because you'll do it. We're their first teacher no matter whose school they're in. We are their first teacher. Hold on, I'm going to show you something. This was something that blew my mind. I had never heard of this, but again, I looked it up. You know, I always look up anything my pastor tells us. He encouraged us to do so. All right. In our culture, raising children, 0 to 3, they learn about being a boy or a girl. Why do you think the Most High made that a thing? You teach them from the beginning if they are a boy or a girl because He already knew that this stuff that's going on now about I feel like I'm this and that, the trans community, He knew that was going to be a thing. And again, I don't have nothing against the trans community. Y'all can live the way you want. If you say you feel like you are a girl, but you were born a male, I will respect that. Absolutely. Because I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. I know what the Bible says, and if that's not what you believe or you want to agree with, that's okay. I don't have nothing to do with it. I will never be disrespectful to you. I will always give you the respect deserved, um, help you if you need help. But we wouldn't like hang out. We're not besties or anything like that. You know, back in the day, I used to be one of those. I'm inclusive. The Most High loves everybody. At least that's what I was told. And then I learned the truth. And that's not what the Bible says. So I'm not going to go into all of that. From 4 to 6, we wean them off mom. Okay. 7 and 9, they become our apprentice. The girls hang out with mom and they do what mom does. And the boys hang out with dad. They do what dad does. 10 to 12, we give them extreme education. Now, mind you, they're learning throughout the whole thing. They're learning. But now we're giving that extreme education. Okay. 13 to 15, train them to become an adult. Man, I'm telling you, if we would do it the way that the Most High wants us to, could you imagine how this world would be? Could you just imagine? Oh, wow. Okay, so like I said, 13 to 15, we train them to become adults. 16 through 18, you train them to become a husband or a wife. Now, again, through all of the things that they're teaching up to this age, 16 through 18, they are learning what a wife does and what their purpose is, right? So 16 through 18, now we're training them like this is what your role is as a husband, and this is what your role is as a wife. But we're to teach them. But before you find your helpmeet or your husband finds you, you are married to the Most High Yah, right? Then we have 19 through 21. You train them to become a mother and a father or a father. How many of us needed this training right here? I know I did. My father needed it. My children needed this. Like, I wish I would have known better because I would have done better. Okay. Um, check this out. This blew my mind. When your son becomes 22, you give them their inheritance. We're not supposed to wait till we have passed on to give them their inheritance. We give it to them now so that 22, they know what it is to be a man. They know what it is to be a husband. So now they're looking for their wife. Now, mind you, they're in their work. They're doing what the Most High put them on this earth to do because we're training them that way from the beginning. So now that he's in his work, he sees his wife. The Most High shows him that's her. He's already has his inheritance. We don't wait till we pass to give them their inheritance. We're supposed to give it to them while we're here. So for women at the age of 22, um, they are at home with their families. Now, mind you, they too are still doing what a wife does, but they're waiting for him. They're waiting to be chosen by their husband to be. Um, it says, daughter is safe at home with oil in her lamp, waiting on him, her husband. But the way that we've been taught in this world, we just out here, we're dating, we're only supposed to have one husband and one wife. Sex is marriage and marriage is sex. So once you find that one husband, you can have all the sex you want. This is for educational purposes only. All of the sex you want. And nothing defiles the bedroom. Nothing. You do what you want. As long as you're not bringing anybody else into the mix. It's just you and your husband. Y'all do whatever y'all want. Y'all want to climb up on the roof, not the roof of the house, but swing the chandeliers, whatever. It's okay because that's your husband and that's your wife. But in this world, we got the children, you know, going to these, and they're teaching them early. I'm not saying there's something wrong with having prom. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have, a celebration because you graduated. But if we were not in these schools to begin with, they wouldn't be teaching our children how they are dating because now we gotta have a date for the prom. We and then you want them to not do anything crazy, like don't be out there being promiscuous, don't be out there laying up with nobodies. You concerned about that during the prom. But if we were doing it the right way, we wouldn't have to concern ourselves with that because they have been taught what a husband is and what a wife is. But we're teaching them how to date. Pastor Kofi is so amazing. He said, when something has a date on it, what does that mean to you? So when you go grocery shopping and there's a date on your food, what does that mean? That it expires. And 9 times out of 10, these dating that we're doing, it expires. Oh, but it's too late. We done already laid up with them. We done all the things. We might even had children. You might have gotten a disease. It's all kinds of stuff happening because we didn't do it the way that the Most High intended it. And then we're in these schools, they're teaching us lies, straight lies. Now, they may sprinkle a little truth in there, but a half truth is a whole lie. Like you can't. It's just it is what it is. It is what it is, right? But yeah, we're too okay. Excuse me, we're too okay with allowing people to tell us what we should be doing versus allowing the Most High to tell us what we should be doing. Because let's think about it. What the world tells us to do gets us in so much trouble. It causes so much strife. It causes so many problems. But if we do it the way the Most High tell us to do, we wouldn't have those problems. Now, I'm not going to say that the enemy is not going to come and try to still knock you off your game. That's his job. He don't want to go to his final resting place alone. He, enemy love the I mean, misery loves company, right? So yeah, he want to take others with him, but if we were so into what the Most High told us, reading His Word, praying, following His will, staying on the path that He's given us, I mean, our children would be out here doing the things that they're doing. This world is trying to end our children's lives, and as you can see, they're passing away earlier and earlier. Like when I was a child, people were old, like really old when they were passing away. They are 80, 90, 100 years old. Now they're 20s and 30s and 10s and 15. Like, this is insane. So my grandson is 10 now. So when he's my age, were they going to start catching them at birth? Like, it's getting younger and younger the way that they're passing away. And in the midst of it all, they're still not learning what the truth is. No one is looking for the Most High. Nobody's wanting to read the Bible. Why do you think that they do so much to people that want to have the Most High in their life? Why is it such a big issue? There are people in certain countries that it is against the law to read the Bible. Why? If it's not real. If it's just a book and it's fictitious, there's nothing real about it, why do people go through so extreme lengths for those that believe in it? I just don't get it. But anyway, I'm not going to have this video that long. But yeah, I just want people to know that there is a better way. It's the only way. So if you want, if you have a desire, if you are able, if you trust the Most High to allow you to do this, because He will if you ask Him that you want to homeschool your children. I have curriculum. The Most High allowed me to put together curriculum K through 12. And it's a really good curriculum, not because I wrote it and put it together, because it was the way it was given to me. I look, I've been a teacher for over 30 years, but I've never thought about ever putting curriculum together. It's never been something on my mind. Like, I just never thought of it. But now that I homeschool, like I can't ever go back to the classroom unless it's my own classroom. I will never work again for the system to continue the lies, continuing to keep the veil over people's eyes so that they don't see what's really happening. I mean, but in the end, we're lazy. Like, we really are lazy. In the Bible, they call them stiff neck. They're just stiff neck. You just don't want to move. You just want to be this way. You just don't. And then we complain about this, that, and the other. And then we want to vote people in like they're going to make a difference. How many times have you voted for anybody and they were your president and things were better? I mean, I've not seen it. They are so into you when they're trying to get your vote, and after they get their votes in and they win, you'll never hear from them again until it's time to vote again. And now we want to make legislation, we want to do this, that, and the other, but it only, when it's time for the votes. But, if we're not voting, then, go away. We ain't got nothing to do with you. I'm making my money. It's about that bag. And it's about keeping the lies going. Because I'm telling you, I worked in the civil courts for a long time. And I'm not saying every state is the same, but the court system, I guarantee you, it is not that much different. Y'all vote these people in, but they already know who's going to be the person. They already know. They know before, you know, before they even put the ones out that they want you to so called vote for. They already know. Look that up. The truth is out there if you seek it. It really is. But most people don't even know what they're supposed to be looking for. They don't even know that there is a lie that they need to be detecting or inner dissecting, I meant to say. Um, yeah, before the votes are out, before they give you the candidates, they already know who's going to win. Look it up. And don't just look with Google. Google's going to tell you what Google's going to tell you. The library should be your best friend. The library has got it all. That's why they're trying to get rid of so much. They don't want people going to the library. They want to get rid of books. They want to get rid of the Bible. They want to get rid of the things that's going to teach you the truth. And people are just so blind to it because they got the racism and people being unalived, and they have the children being kidnapped and all of the things that's going on to keep you blind, to keep you so enthralled with the craziness of what's going on in this world, so that you don't ask no questions, so that you don't, look up some stuff and seek the truth. So y'all should go to the library, get you a library card, look up some stuff, do your research, ask the Most High, what are you here for? What is my purpose? He'll show you. Now, I've learned this more and more every time. Every time you pray about something, especially when it comes to being in the will of the Father, your answer may come in the craziest way. That's how the Most High works. I'm telling you now. You be like, what? I'm supposed to do what? Okay, do it. You got to trust Him. You want to see how much you trust Him. You want to see. So that is my spiel on why we should stop allowing the system to teach our children. Stop doing that. Stop allowing them to have your precious babies so that they can mold their mind the way that they want to. And then when they do something crazy to them when they in school, now you mad. But once they in the school system, they belong to them. So they don't care what you're talking about. They don't care what you think. They don't care what you want. You agreed to let your child be here. So that means you accept whatever it is we do. If you don't believe me, look it up. Well, y'all have to excuse it. This is an old one. I don't know if you can see it. But this has my curriculum. You can also get your curriculum through me. You can email me or Gmail me, and I'll respond, and we can make it work. Um, they're in sections, um, K through third grade, fourth grade through sixth grade. Oh my greatness. I don't remember no more. I put this together earlier this year, third grade, fourth grade through eighth grade. Yeah. And then ninth grade through 12th grade. That's correct. Three. Yeah. And each bundle is $150, $175. Look, I'm serious. I put this together for a while, and I mean, it's been a while. Don't really know. I have to look some information up. I think it's 175, 150, 175, one of those. Or you can get the whole thing, K through 12. And it all comes together with you have extra stuff that you'll be privy to. So the whole curriculum is $400. But once you purchase curriculum, I don't just leave you alone to yourself. Like, here you go, goodbye. I still reach out. I find out if there's things you need, if you want help with something, is anything extra you need. Once you purchase from me, it's you to me, your family, it's a relationship. What do your children need? Every child learns differently. So what makes them tick? What gets them? What do they enjoy? What are the things they really like? What subject they really interested in? What subject are they having issues with? Everybody learns differently, and I'm here to make sure that I give you what you need. So once you purchase from me, it's a family. And the extra stuff you need, I don't charge you for that. Once you pay for the curriculum, it is yours. And anything extra you need, I got you. Like literally, I got you. I literally, it's funny. I didn't know I was going to make this video today, but I literally was reaching out to one of my parents this morning, checking on her son to see how he's doing. Not just her son. How are you doing? They have a little one, her and her husband, like, how are you all doing? And in the meantime, you know, if they need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out because I'm here. That's what I'm here to do. So this video is a little longer than normal, but at least it's not an hour. Anyway, everything that you need, if you choose to want to reach out or whatever, I will put it in the description and we will see. I don't know what my next video is going to be about. I think it was going to see if I can get into what the marriage vows mean. Pastor Kofi did something on the marriage vows the other day and it just threw me off the loop because I was like, huh, that makes so much sense. So, and maybe today, I'm not sure. But either way, I have you covered if you want to homeschool. I have one parent, she also purchased, but she would like it if I was doing the homeschooling. And at the moment, I'm not able to because I homeschool my grandson. But I am trying to figure out a way, if the Most High says that this is what He wants me to do, that will be something that I can do. Um, I'll do it virtually, of course. But right now, I'm focusing on my grandson, trying to unteach him the mess that he's been learning, and we're doing great. Like, we're doing great. He's doing well, and so I got you. So, as always, I love you, family. Shalom.